Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Bits video, and today you join me here inside of the new Volvo EX60, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tour of the software that we've got going on in this thing. So let me get the camera set up and I'll kind of go through all the software menus and show you guys what all's going on. This is Volvo's first car to use a centralized compute, which they call Huygen Core. So yeah, we'll kind of go over all the details of that and give you guys just a little bit of a tour and a taste of what the software looks like.
Are you guys looking for an opportunity to drive off in a brand new electric vehicle and support a non-profit fighting for a greener planet? Well, I've got the program for you. Our friends at the CCAN Action Fund are back with their 8th annual EV raffle program, and it is so much fun. I'm going to tell you why you've got to enter. Each ticket gives you 3 chances to enter, and the prizes are absolutely amazing. You could win in the first prize a Rivian, a Porsche, or a Lucid up to $115,000, which is a ton of electric car. The second prize is also awesome. Rivian R2, highly anticipated, or you could choose from a Volkswagen ID Buzz or a Hyundai Ioniq as well. And there's even a third prize, which is the fantastic new Chevy Bolt. Each ticket costs only $200. Again, 3 chances to win with each purchase, and you're supporting a nonprofit. What's not to love? I don't even know which one I would choose if I was able to win. So ditch the high gas prices if you happen to win, and you support a nonprofit along the way. It's a great opportunity to visit evraffle.org to enter. Thanks so much to CCAN Action Fund for sponsoring this video. They even cover state and federal taxes.
Alrighty, so as you can see, we've got our screen here. Interesting little thing to note, the screen here is actually curved. It doesn't really show up super well on camera, but it's actually convex, so it's actually curved out this way, so the center of the screen is bowed in, which kind of makes it nice, because driver and passenger kind of get their own, nice view of the screen. But like I said, this uses Volvo's new Huygen Core central compute system, which let me try and see if I can get the spec for that, because I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it's some crazy number of teraflops of compute power, which was pretty interesting. And then, of course, the other thing to note is just like all the modern Volvo cars, this uses Google built-in. And this actually has Gemini as well. So Gemini works as a conversational assistant. So you can just ask it to do, basically whatever you want to do. If you want to change the temperature or the music or, any of the car functions, it's supposed to do all that. There's a couple of car functions that it doesn't currently do, but I believe it should be able to do those when this actually goes on sale. Like say the electrochromic glass, or if you want to change drive modes, rather than having to go through menus, you can just ask Gemini to change that stuff for you. But yeah, if we go into the car menu here, so you can see we've got our sort of just quick control menu here. So we've got our mirror and steering wheel adjustments, which when you click on those, it just has you adjust it with the actual controls on the steering wheel. It just changes, whichever mode. We've got 4 different driving modes here. This is, of course, going to be dependent on which particular model. In this case, because we've got the P10, it has a range, standard, performance, and off-road modes. On the rear-wheel drive, it does not have a performance mode, so it's got everything else, but it's missing that. We also have adjustable dampers on this, electronically adjustable dampers. The P6 rear-wheel drive also does not have the adjustable dampers. It does, however, have adaptive, what do they call that? Frequency response valve dampers. So it actually does have a really nice smooth ride. Very similar suspension to probably what you'd find in like current gen Model 3 and Y, where they've got the frequency response dampers. So that's a pretty nice thing. And yeah, you can just flip through those. We've got different 1-pedal settings that we can change, as well as creep mode on and off. We've got some other driver's assistance, so intelligent speed assist, and then we've got some other interior cabin controls roof shading, which is kind of a nice feature. It's got that electrochromic glass, and it kind of goes just a frosted white when you hit that. Driving, just more driving mode stuff. So some of these are in the same quick controls menu. This is all just maybe the stuff that you'd want to access quickly and easily. But we've got even more adjustability here. So you say you can adjust your cruise control to the speed limit, all that kind of stuff. And you can also have a speeding response. So if you're going over the speed, the car will either give you a sound or I don't know what pedal would do. Maybe that would vibrate the pedal. Not sure on that. Driving dynamics, one pedal, creep, steering feel. Okay, so we can actually adjust the steering feel from soft to firm. I didn't notice that before. But yeah, so I guess we've got 3 different settings for steering. And of course, our suspension, all that good stuff. If we go to controls here, we've got more functions as well. We have a towing mode, so that if, say, the car was going to be towed on a flatbed or whatever, you can change that. Power options. What do we have there? Oh, okay. So we have a sort of like a sleep mode to, drain the car, basically. So you can turn the car off even when we're sitting here in it. Okay. Brightness, locking, so we can lock or unlock the doors from here, which we can also just do on the door. There is a control on the doors to both lock and unlock, but apparently you can also do it from the screen. Oh, I see what this is. That's not what it is. It's so that we can so that when you walk up to the car, it either unlocks the driver's door or all of the doors. Apparently there's more unlocking functions too. Okay, just some different settings that you can change there. Wipers and mirrors, rain sensitivity, which apparently the rain sensor in this car has a problem. It doesn't work. But it seems like the other cars work fine. It's just this one has a problem. The last car, I drove a P6 earlier today, and that one worked just fine. It's just this one seems to have a problem with the rain sensor. Service position, adjust the steering wheel, wireless device charging, all that good stuff. I've got our sound settings. So this has the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, which sounds really nice. I don't have a ton of experience with high-end audio systems in some of the other competition, but to me this sounds fantastic. It's really great, but it has a whole bunch of different functions that you can change. So you can change the focus of it. So if you're the only person in the car, you can change it so it's focused on the driver, or you can change it for the whole car, just the front seats, whatever the case may be. We also have these different modes. So we have a living room mode, downtown club mode, Gothenburg concert hall. So apparently these are all just different modes that you can put it into. And then just the standard 3D surround. We've got intensity and envelopment settings as well. And then of course you can change all of your tone, equalizer, so you can change all of those settings. And then I guess you can also change volume. Oh, you can change the volume settings for all the different stuff here. So for notifications and all that stuff. That's cool. So you can change them all individually for whichever functions you want to change the volume for. That's pretty nice, actually. And of course, we do have a manual volume control with this little knob down here on the bottom, and you can also skip songs with that as well. And that can be done on the steering wheel as well. We've also got charging settings. So we've got a daily drive mode, long trip, which sets it to 100%. And then you can also set your own custom charge level. So you can set it anywhere from 50 to 100%, which I like to see. Nice to be able to set a low charge limit for long-term storage if the car is going to be parked. You can set your charging schedules. And then we've got a minimum battery level. So maintain a battery reserve when connected to a charger, regardless of schedules or other settings. So I guess that would be, if you wanted a minimum amount of battery, it's going to override the charging schedule if the battery ever drops below that level, which I guess is also kind of cool. If that's ever something that you were concerned about, where if you want to have the car at a minimum SOC and you want it to charge outside of your schedule, if needed to do that, then it can indeed do it. I guess the best example that I could think of that is let's say you were, let's say you drove home from a long trip or something and you arrived home at a low state of charge, like 10%, and you plug the car in. If you have a charging schedule, it might not start charging until, late at night or whenever your charging schedule is set. But I guess if you set that minimum battery level, it'll charge up to whatever your minimum amount is, and then it'll default back to its regular charge timer. That's actually kind of cool. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. And then we've got an amperage limit. Manual battery preconditioning. I like to see that too. It's nice to be able to manually precondition if, for whatever reason, you're navigating someplace where the car doesn't recognize there's a charger, which does happen sometimes. We also have plug and charge, which we can set up for some different networks and stuff, I guess. And we can use the car's battery as an energy source. So I'm not sure what the accessories look like for that. I don't know if it would do it through the EVSE or if there's some other separate adapter that you'd use. But I guess you can also adjust your power level that you want to set as the bottom end for discharge. So I guess you can set it as low as 20% or as high as 100. So yeah, I guess if you wanted to block energy transfer completely, you just set it to 100. How about car status? Everything is okay. Oh, so we have a maintenance menu here. And then I guess, what is this going to show stuff like if I open the door? I guess not. I presume this would probably show faults and stuff if you had any faults present. We've got tire pressures, so we can see all of the tire pressures. Battery, charging power, battery temperature. That's cool that we can see battery temperature. This would show your charging power in real time. Or actual charging limit, 0 kilowatts, actual charging power, currently charging battery. Oh yeah, so I guess this would be when you're charging. You could view this menu and it would tell you how much power is being accepted, and then it'll tell you what the charging limit is for power. So that would tell you if, say, it was the car that's the limiting factor or the charging equipment that's the limiting factor. Assuming, of course, it's accurate in its estimation there. That's cool to see. And then I guess that's all we've got. We don't have any key tags for this car. This does use phone as a key, so I actually just have a phone set up for this. And there's no power button. You just push the brake, put it in gear, and the car's on. Connectivity, so I guess that's probably just going to show us Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, all that fun stuff. We've got another system thing here, so we've got security updates. This car does, of course, support over-the-air software updates. And then you can change some other stuff here, languages, date and time, all that good stuff. Got some privacy settings. So that's all just that stuff. Interesting, there's an ads personalization. That's fascinating. Data sharing, infotainment, and then we have a Google menu specifically. So I guess you can change whatever Google account you have it connected to and settings for some of the different services. So that's pretty sweet. And then, yeah, of course, over here on the side of the menu when we're on the home screen, we have all of our sort of our hotkey menu with different stuff. So you can bring up the cameras. We have both a front, a rear, and then sort of a 360 view. And apparently it says, oh yeah, look at that. We can actually move it around. We get a little 3D representation of the car here, and we can even zoom in if we want. That's cool. We can just recenter it like that. We've got our mirror adjustment stuff. So that's another hotkey, and then we have rear and front defrost. We've got our climate settings here, which is pretty nice, but we can also just adjust it right here on the bottom of the menu. So we have just a standard adjustment value here. We've got heated and cooled seats, as well as a heated steering wheel. So that's pretty nice. Can we do, oh look at that, we can do heated and cooled seats at the same time. I don't think a whole lot of cars can do that, but apparently this can. So that's pretty awesome. I'm just gonna leave it right there actually. And then of course we've got the same stuff for the passenger side. I wonder if it's possible to change any of the stuff on this hotkey menu or not. Oh, and we can get rid of our music tab if you want the map full screen as well. Yeah, so how cool is that? Pretty sweet stuff. Well, I think that kind of does it for the software tour as far as I can tell. We've also got a bunch of different apps here, I guess. So you can go to YouTube or whatever the case may be. And you can probably, so we can add even more apps. So if there's a Google app that you wanted to add to this, you can search for different stuff. So you can put in all of your favorite streaming apps or whatever the case may be to use while you're parked. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Plug share. Yeah. Awesome. That is good stuff. Let's see, if we go back home, what else do we have here? Oh, user manual is there as well. Oh, and then that's how we adjust our vents. So we've got vent adjustment. Seems to be becoming a common trend. Oh, and we can adjust the rear separately as well. That's cool. I wonder, do we have a keep climate mode here? Climate off, climate eco, air quality, timers, keep climate active. Okay, so we do have a keep climate active when the car is empty. So they're not saying it's a pet mode or anything, but yeah, Volvo recommends not leaving people or pets unattended in the car. Local laws apply. So that's probably sort of just a little bit of a legal thing that they're, they're saying don't leave your pets in the car, but they do have a keep climate mode. So that's kind of cool. We'll turn off at low battery levels. So I guess it doesn't really have a timer or anything. You could just keep climate active and it'll just run until the battery gets too low to sustain it, I guess. So that's cool. We also have an air quality thing too. So we've got in-car and out-of-car air quality. Focused air cleaning. So I guess it's cleaning the air as it comes into the car. Clean zone is achieved. So that means the car is cleaner than the outside, I guess. Look at that. We've got all sorts of air quality stuff here. It's measuring all sorts of different stuff. Sulfur dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen dioxide. Wow, it's even measuring, or it's not measuring, but it's getting cloud data for outside pollen levels. How cool is that? I don't know that I've ever seen anything like that in a car before. Yeah. That is really cool stuff. Airflow manual, focused, away. Oh, so you have sort of different automatic things that you can set it to. So you can manually set it. You can go for a focused thing and auto. I don't know what auto does, but apparently that's a thing. Neat. Well, I think that kind of does it for the tour here as far as the software capabilities. I guess we didn't play around with Gemini that much, but you can kind of get the picture of what it can do. You just push the little microphone button on the steering wheel and ask it to do whatever you might want. If you want it to navigate someplace, if you want it to change a setting, well, here, I'll ask it to, hey Google, can you turn the temperature up? And there you go.
All right, turning up the temperature by 2 degrees.
And it changed the temperature. So you can do basically anything like that you can think of. And yeah, it's connected to all the systems in the car. So you can really do it with anything. And it's not like previous voice control systems of the past where you have to use just the right terminology, for the car to recognize it. You can just tell it in, plain terms what you want it to do, and it will interpret that and do whatever it is that you're asking. Yeah, I think that kind of covers everything. Perhaps if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I just realized there's one more thing that I forgot to mention on the software side of things, or at least loosely related to the software, and that's sort of a safety function that Volvo has implemented on these cars that's sort of enabled by this new Huygen Core centralized compute. And that is, they have an adaptable seatbelt system where basically the pre-tensioning for the seatbelts in the event of a collision is adaptable. So it doesn't just do a single pre-tensioning setting. They adjust based on size, weight, size and weight of the driver or the passenger or whoever it might be, and whatever kind of collision it is. So say if it's a front collision or a side collision, the pre-tensioning for the seat belts is adaptable based on all those conditions. And I think this is the first car ever to do anything like that. So just another little thing that I kind of forgot to mention there in the software stuff. Not necessarily directly software related in terms of infotainment, but just something that's enabled by this centralized compute system, because being able to do all that in real time, almost instantly requires quite a bit of computing power. And yeah, that's just yet another feature that is enabled by this. Yeah, so just one more cool thing to add in there that I missed in my previous full tour of all the software stuff.